He's in the back.
Alright, this is Zuko. He is a year and a few months. He was born at the end of May last year. Zuko's mommy didn't take really good care of him, so he had to be hand raised. So he's a little rambunctious. So for some of you who have just joined us, it is Red Panda Day, so we're celebrating our little red friends. Red pandas are built for a life in the trees. That's where they like to hang out. He's getting some apple treats right now. Those are some of his favorites.
Panda, you catch people? They're like
No, they actually eat squirrels and birds.
Yeah, they will eat some small animals from time to time, but it's on the rare side. They have a diet that is almost exclusively bamboo. What's cool about red pandas is that taxonomically, which is a way that we classify animals in the animal kingdom, they are considered carnivores. So they are in the order of the carnivore. I threw a couple apples in there, so you've got to kind of figure it out. He's like, I'm done trying. I just see you got more food. But yeah, these guys are in the order of carnivore. They have, again, if you can see his teeth when he opens his mouth, he's got very cat-like teeth. He has a carnivore's digestive system. But mostly he'll just eat bamboo, so they're a little unusual. They are then in a family all their own. So the Alluridae family,
He wants more.
they are the only animal in their family. And if you remember nothing else today, this is the original panda. I'm going to try to get him up on this log. Since Zuko was hand raised, he wants to play with us. But again, he has very, very sharp claws that he cannot retract. So he wants to sometimes climb on us, and that's a no-no.
Well, some
But again,
animals climb
him
on
being
me.
the original panda, he was discovered 50 years before the giant panda. Giant pandas are bears. They are in the bear family. They do share some similar adaptations. They live in the same parts of the world. They both eat bamboo. They both have pseudo thumbs to help them grasp bamboo. But that is it. Giant pandas, though, are otherwise bears. Same situation taxonomically in that, again, giant pandas eat exclusively bamboo. But yet they are carnivores. That's nature. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, because he is bamboo.
So like I said, very sharp claws for climbing. Long, beautiful furry tail that helps with balance. But it's also a great scarf when you live up in, when you want to be high up in the tree where it's a little cold. These guys like it cold. Again, they have one of the most dense coats of any mammal. So they prefer a nice cold region. Cincinnati in summertime is not their thing. Not their thing. So if you want to come to the zoo and see red pandas in summertime, get here early. They're usually out in the morning, but then by midday, unfortunately, we do not have indoor viewing of our red pandas, but they have air conditioning back there. So that's where they typically want to hang out. So we like to joke that in the summertime, nobody wants to take care of the red pandas. Or everybody wants to take care of the red pandas because it's air conditioning, but then in winter, again, you got a coat on the whole time you're up here cleaning. It's heated just enough to keep water bowls from freezing. That's about it. Because they like it. Again, come to the zoo on a snowy day if you're brave enough. You will have a blast because these guys they'll play in the snow. It's legit play. It has no purpose. It's just they love it. They'll throw it up over their bodies. They roll in it. They jump around in it. They want to tunnel through it if it's deep enough. Sadly, we just don't get many snowfalls anymore in Cincinnati. So they don't get to enjoy it too much. But they sit out here on a snowy day and they'll curl up and just let it sit on their coat, brush that off, reach down into the fur, nice and dry. So they're very well suited for their cold climate. Anybody have any questions about him? He's a bit of a monster, so I'm not going to hang out here once he's done eating. He likes to play. We generally will lock him away from us when we're doing our cleaning. Again, he's a sweet guy, he's a wonderful guy, but because he had to be hand raised, again, he's very, very, very comfortable with people, and he doesn't understand that we can't play like a red panda. And he's still young enough that he wants to play. Again, these are solitary animals, so he'll reach a point where he's just like, meh, whatever. He's just not there yet. He's settled down a little bit since he's been here, but me and Deb, Deb's been out there on the deck with you guys, but we both have the scars. So now we just locked him away from us. So, does anybody have any last minute questions about Zuko or red pandas in general? Again, these guys need our help. There's fewer than 2,500 of them left in the wild. We work with a group called Red Panda Network. And redpandanetwork.org. They actually work in the communities where these animals are found. With any animal, it's going to be the people that share their homes with them who are going to save these animals. So redpandanetwork.org, they work in the communities, they educate, they provide farming assistance, so they teach people how to farm sustainably. They teach them how to replant the forest. They train them to be forest guardians, to pull traps and snares that the pandas could get caught in. They earn a living for that. That's very important to them. Again, these are poor communities, so that's huge. They vaccinate the dogs. Stray, roaming dogs are a big threat to them because of disease. And with these guys, they're losing so much of their forest habitat that they have to spend more time on the ground, which gives them more contact with these animals that could potentially carry diseases that are fatal to them. So distemper in a dog will make a dog sick. They'll usually recover even without treatment. Distemper in a panda is almost always fatal. So Red Panda Network, helps to get those animals vaccinated. So they do some research, they do some monitoring of panda populations, but most importantly, they are working alongside these communities to teach them how to live sustainably with this animal and the importance of this animal, and they earn a living by helping this animal. So these people have learned this animal is important to their livelihood. So where Red Panda Network works, spends time in the field there, Red Panda numbers are increasing because of their efforts in the local community. So there's one of our chickens. She's a bird rock chicken. So there's lots of Does anybody else have any questions? I want to get out before he starts to think about trouble. Being naughty.
You can't be naughty.
We are going to bring a female in for him, so we are really, really, really hoping to have babies next year. Babies are adorable and cute. We just love them. So we're hopeful. Now she does have a little more free time. Still showing everyone just how smart she is. He's being really good. So anybody questions?
How do you name them?
Sometimes we'll do a contest. So Zuko came with his name. Audra and Lenore were named for relatives of one of the keepers who worked them a long time. We've had contests. So during the pandemic, our cub that we had a raffle to raise money, and so we raffled off naming rights. So we got 3 names that we all liked, and then we got to decide which one we wanted. So somebody came up with Lucas, which means light giver. So we were like, oh, Lucas is our light giver in the darkness of COVID. Mimi was another one. We had 2 names picked out, and we let people vote online. So Mimi's name is Shenmi, which means mystery in Chinese, because she was a mystery baby. We didn't know mom was pregnant. We had been told 3 days before Mimi was born that she wasn't pregnant. So, and then we come in and it's like, that shouldn't be here, So we thought, well, she was a mystery, so Shenmi. But then we shortened it, we just called her Mimi. So he just sent Mark that couple in, if any of you noticed. Red pandas communicate mostly by scent. They do chitter a little bit to each other, but most of it is scent, so they'll mark anything in their territory, and that tells another red panda who was here. So he's just left his mark saying Zuko was here. Stay yeah.
Yeah.
Can you smell that? When he does
No,
that,
it doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah.
So we've had him scent mark our shoes.
I hope so.
And then we smelled our shoes and we're like, I don't smell a thing. So, but again, their sense of smell is much,
getting real
much
close
more
to it.
enhanced than ours. They have just a lot of, they're just so unusual. They have a lot of unique adaptations that.
How much does he weigh?
What's that?
How much does he weigh?
About 15 pounds. Yeah, 15 to 18 pounds is pretty usual. But I mean, they even have, so they're the only known carnivore to have specialized papillae on the bottoms of their tongue. So if you see them out here walking along and you see them stop and sniff at something, they'll stick their tongue out curled up and they're like laying the back of their tongue on the object and they're smelling. And yeah, they're the only known carnivore to do that. And then there's been some research studies because most carnivores can't taste anything sweet. Why would they? We know that cats, cats will lick up whipped cream, but they can't necessarily taste the sweetness. It's the texture and the fats that are in it, but it's not the sweet. In research that they've done, they do believe that red pandas can taste sweet, so that they have the taste buds for sweet things. So they're just weird. I mean, they're just
They're
this
cool.
unique little animal in its family
They're
that,
cool.
and then, and like I said, they're the only animal in its family.
Any
So
sweet stuff like in their natural habitat that would.
there's fruits and things that they would get, yeah. And they absolutely love that stuff here. So Zuko is our only panda who will eat some grapes. Again, they're a little bit like dogs on that. You don't want to feed them too many, but a couple is okay. But our girls don't want anything to do with that. They don't eat any of the melons. That's almost repellent to them, to our pandas at least. Because we've tried, again, we've got one panda who's on meds, and the challenge of figuring out how to get her to take her meds reliably. So we finally settled on, we soak a primate biscuit in apple juice. We smush it over the pill, smear a little banana on the outside, and then give it to her. It has to be fresh. It has to be fresh. And again, that took months to figure out. It was like every day, with something else.
Just like our cat.
They're challenging.
So you have a culinary expert back there figuring out how to coax them into.
The zoo does have its own nutritionist, which is amazing. We're one of the few zoos that does have that. But we basically could go to our nutritionist and we were like, hey, okay, we need a list of everything that they're allowed to have, and then we're just going to play with it. And I mean, because we tried Nutri-Grain bars, we tried, all these, again, some human foods, because we have a lot of those things, Teddy Grahams are the favorite treat of a lot of animals here at the zoo. Specifically Teddy Grahams. Can't just be a graham cracker, it has to be a Teddy Graham, I don't know. But yeah, and then we just play with it. I mean, we were doing grape juice, cranberry juice, bananas, mango, just all kinds of novel things until it was like the biscuit soaked in apple juice to just the right consistency. Smeared with a little bit of banana, but that has to be fresh. You have to do that right before you give it to her. It's weird. It's weird. If it even sits for a few minutes, it's just like, I'm touching that. I ain't touching that. So
Is that a hint of brown?
exactly. So I think he probably went back inside. Fortunately, any of you that have just joined us, the red pandas aren't really fans of this weather. Some of us aren't either. So it's a little warm. Unfortunately, we don't have viewing of their indoor holding, but they do have air conditioning back there, so many times they choose to go back there and get a breath of fresh air. Keepers do that too. They go back there and get a breath of fresh air.
Now, anyone here have dogs or cats?
So anybody have any questions?
No, not anymore. They
Questions
used to
about
be.
pandas before I
A year
Bug
old
out.
panda is actually not
Huh?
baby.
Before I
No,
escape to the AC?
he's going to be bred hopefully next year. So, yeah.
They're fine.
So,
You guys have done the BTS too, right? I don't remember you
It
guys.
was a while ago. We remembered you.
Yeah. I was like, because when I went back up, I told those guys, I said, man, we got some Panda super fans out there. Because I said, I know you guys, and I said, oh, and this woman's got this beautiful dress, and yeah, so we were talking about you, but no, I'm glad you guys came out today. The pandas are awesome.
This is my first spot. Anytime I come to the zoo,
Yes.
I just make a beeline
Yes,
for
smart.
Yep.
But yeah, if you don't mind braving a snowy day, Yeah, it's a great day to come and see these guys. They have so much fun in it.
I'm originally from Michigan, so I'm
Okay, yeah. I always say these are the only Cincinnatians who are truly like snow day.
Yeah.
You know, but sadly we get so few of them now. You know, it's really